Hey, welcome to Edit Stock. Great editors say that they can cut a scene in their mind before making a single cut in the timeline. How can this be? This video is intended to give you some creative guidance for cutting the free sample scene. Let's explore the footage you're getting for a moment. This scene is covered in a wide shot and 2 close-ups. That's 1 full take of John in his close-up, and 1 full take of Levy, his co-worker and good friend. In the full product of this scene, called Everything Goes Wrong, you get a lot more footage to pick from, including multiple takes and even 1 or 2 more camera angles. Before we start cutting, it's important to know what the scene's about. Included in this download is the script. You get the script to the entire short, which should take you about 20 minutes to maybe a half an hour to read. You should read the whole thing to understand the context of this one scene. But if you don't, that's alright, because I'm just going to tell you what's going on. Basically, John over there was taking a bathroom break, as he does every day in the handicap stall. His actually handicapped boss, Janice, came in, and then everything went nuts. Janice fell down. John, fearing punishment, ran away. His objective in this free sample scene is to play it cool and not get caught. Levy, on the other hand, is the straight guy. It's your classic comedic duo. Okay, let's get cutting. Let's start with this opening section. The opening section can be basically done in 2 ways. You can either start wide, or you can start with a close-up but then go wide before John sits down. It's important that we get out to the wide shot at some point here, though, because that's going to establish the room. Here's an example of a cut that didn't go out wide at first. And I just want to say before I show this that there's no wrong way to put any of these scenes together.
So, how's it up?
Did you feel that? We call that being claustrophobic. Since we started out on a close-up, we felt uneasy not knowing what the room looked like. Let's look once more. Wide shots establish the room. Close-ups, not so much. Okay, the next spot worth noting is the eye twitch. This is a great joke, and you know what makes it great? That you can see it. This is a great example of where to use a close-up. When you're in close, you get to see the actor's business. The business is the acting that they do other than just talking. In this case, look at how great the eye twitch is.
So, how's it up?
What's up? Nothing. It's fine. Nothing to report.
You alright, John?
Yes. Why would you think something happened?
You're sweating profusely and your left eye keeps twitching.
No, everything went out smoothly and great, of course.
I wanted to show you guys a couple of examples of other business that John does in this scene. However, instead of showing you any particular cut, I'm going to actually just play back raw dailies of the wide shot with just no sound playing. Watch John's hands as I'm talking here. I didn't want to imply that business is only meant for close-ups. Wide shots have a lot of business too.
Really bad, but I was in there and then Jonas was coming and he was crazy, like
standing up, sitting down, these things require wide shots to see. It has to do with keeping the viewer informed about where everybody is. I saw one particular cut get uploaded here, which was so much different than the way that I had cut the scene originally, that it really made me rethink the entire cutting pattern. Here's a look at how one user used the actor's business in this scene.
Listen, okay, this is gonna sound really bad, but I was in there and then Jonas was coming and he was crazy, like beating down the door. I think he fell down in the stall next to me. And you just left him in there. But it was really complicated because he had a weapon. A weapon? Yeah, well, a walker, but it was like a dangerous walker with projectile tennis balls. You just left your handicapped boss laying on the ground, John. What's wrong with you? I didn't know he was handicapped.
Is this different than how you cut it? Is it right? Is it wrong? When we're providing creative notes at Edit Stock, we might comment about this section, but we certainly wouldn't tell you that it was bad. We might point it out, though, saying something like, interesting use of business here. And that's just what we mean. What you made was interesting and out of the box. Okay, let's keep moving.
You're sweating profusely and your left eye keeps twitching.
No, everything went out smoothly and great, of course.
What the hell?
Make sure you get the stretcher as it rolls in the wide shot. That's important. In the full scene, you'll actually have the shots of the stretcher rolling by. Since it's tough to tell what's going on in that wide shot, it might be in your best interest to put some sound effects in. Sound effects can really help motivate a cut or improve a story point. The sound isn't a band-aid here. Rather, it's an important part of the story.
What the hell? Did you see that?
Oh, God.
This next section of jokes you want to make sure you cut pretty tight. Don't leave a lot of time between the lines. When shots are cut close together, it makes it feel more like an argument.
Are they heading to the bathroom? Oh. Dude, what the hell kind of dump did you leave them in there? I mean, I've heard of giant dumps before, but it's ridiculous. Who's coming in next SWAT with gas masks?
Okay, this is gonna sound really bad.
Ah, yes, the face grab. Another great moment of actor business. I actually didn't put this shot in when I was cutting the scene. I actually wish I had kept the face grab in because it's really funny and worth highlighting. You see, the tighter a scene is cut, the less space there is for this kind of business.
Really bad, but I was in there, and then Janice came in, and he was going crazy, and he was beating on the door, and then I think he slipped and fell in the next stall.
And you just left him in there?
But it was like really complicated because he had a weapon.
A weapon?
Yeah, it was a walker, but it was a dangerous walker with projectile tennis balls, and
You just left your handicapped boss laying on the ground? John, what is wrong with you?
I didn't know he was handicapped. He was like yelling at me, and he's like screaming at me with that voice. You heard him, right? And then I think he's gonna kill me, man. I'm so dead.
Finally, let's talk about cutting out lines. Now, none of you guys should have done this in the free sample scene submission. You're not really allowed to. Classically, in an editor's cut, you must include every line of dialogue, and that would probably be true in this scene too. But as a bonus, if you want to try it, cut out all the lines after, "I didn't know he was handicapped," and just go right to Levy noticing the cart ride by.
You just left your handicapped boss laying on the ground? John, what is wrong with you?
I didn't know he was handicapped. I'm so dead. Oh, God.
I mentioned earlier that editors can cut a scene in their mind. What that editor is really telling you is that from experience, they know which shots should be close-ups and wide shots, and they know what business they want on camera. Now that we've discussed wide shots, close-ups, and the business, can you tell all that from watching this one shot?
And action.
So how was it?
What? No, nothing. Hey, it was good, fine. Nothing to report.
You all right, John?
Yeah, why'd you think something happened?
Well, you're sweating profusely and your left eye keeps twitching.
No. Everything was great, of course.
Okay, that's it for this video. As our site grows, you'll find a video like this associated with every scene that we sell. More advanced tutorials will cover topics like picking performances, intercutting scenes, and how to approach montages. We can give you all the creative advice in the world, but what really makes you better is practice. For now, this is Misha saying, welcome to Edit Stock.